You ever walk into a place thinking you're just going to grab some bread for your kids? Nothing more, only to find out real quick that some folks are ready to make you feel like you don't belong, like you're invisible or worse. Yeah, that was me. Two little girls clutching my hands, the whole bakery freezing up because of something as simple as me asking if I could pay for 2 loaves tomorrow, since my card, well, the bank had locked it up for reasons they never really explained. This isn't the place for people like you. Go beg somewhere else. That's what Mitchell, the manager, barked out, voice echoing through Sunrise Bakery like he wanted to put on a show. And the wild thing? I was recording not just for myself, but for every person who's ever been talked down to in front of their kids. I kept my voice steady, told them about my card, about coming back in the morning after my shift at the gas station. My girls, Emma and Sophie, they just stared at him, too young to understand all of it, but old enough to feel it stinging. Mitchell was eating up the attention. But it's always temporary with people like you, he sneered, loud enough so everyone could hear, and I noticed people pulling out their phones, pretending not to but catching every second. He made jokes about my clothes, my job, told me there was a shelter on 15th if I wanted a handout. And just when I was ready to walk, head high, I caught sight of this well-dressed black man in the corner. Didn't say a word, but you could tell he'd seen it before, his hands shaking just a bit over his coffee. I told my girls, let's go find a place where kind people work, threw Mitchell a look he didn't understand, and walked out. He thought he'd won. But what Mitchell didn't know, what he could never imagine, was that the humiliation wasn't the end. He'd posted a clip from the bakery cameras on Instagram before we'd even gotten home, spinning it like I was some scam artist out to take advantage. Hashtags like not handouts. My phone blew up with the video comments cheering him on, laughing emojis, people saying he was brave for standing up to me. My daughters, they tried to play in the other room, but Emma came over and asked, "Mommy, why was that man so mean?" I wanted to say something wise, but all I could do was hold her, promising I'd handle it. Now, I'm not new to this game. I was a nurse for over a decade. You get real good at reading people, knowing who's lying, who's dangerous, who's just plain mean. And I recognized that man in the bakery wasn't just some bystander. He was watching it all, not with pity, but with the kind of rage only someone who's been there understands. That night, as I was staring at an empty bank account, a number I didn't know popped up on my phone. Kesha Williams? This is David Chun from Chun and Associates. I saw what happened at Sunrise Bakery. I like to help. I'd heard the name civil rights lawyer, the kind of guy who goes to bat for folks like me and wins, but I told him straight, I can't afford a lawyer. He laughed, said, "Who said anything about money? I'm talking about justice. And a friend of mine who was there today wants to support you." While Mitchell and his wife were at home celebrating his social media victory, the likes, the new followers, her telling him he'd done the right thing, was taking screenshots, saving every comment, building a file the way I used to document medical cases. Only this time, it was about something bigger than me. The next morning, I met David Chun at a downtown cafe. He was sharp, polished, but his eyes were tired, like he'd spent years fighting these same battles. He told me it was textbook profiling, that the law protects your right to dignity, whether you've got money or not, that I wasn't begging, I was offering to pay, just needed a day. Then the man from the bakery walked up. Marcus Thompson, CEO of a major company, the kind of guy who could buy and sell places like Sunrise if he wanted. He told me, "I saw myself and my mom in you yesterday, but I have resources now and we're not letting this slide." That was the moment I stopped feeling alone. Marcus said Mitchell's biggest mistake was thinking no one was watching, and even dumber, recording his own crimes. I started digging, using every skill I had from nursing observation, documentation, patience. Marcus pointed me to Sunrise's social media. Turns out, Mitchell had a pattern. Over the last 2 years, there were posts, comments, stories: Latino woman followed by staff, black teenager stopped by security, an elderly woman humiliated at the counter. Each time, Mitchell responded publicly condescending, aggressive, always spinning it like he was protecting the business. I built a spreadsheet, reached out to David, who'd already found 17 people who'd had similar experiences, mostly minorities, mostly too scared to come forward, since Mitchell had sued before just to shut people up. It was Marcus who broke the deadlock. Turns out, Mitchell only owned a piece of the bakery. A real boss was Robert Sterling, millionaire, philanthropist, public champion of diversity. Sterling didn't have a clue what was going on at his investment. The irony? His wife ran an anti-discrimination foundation. Now, the plan wasn't just to sue Mitchell, it was to use the whole corporate structure against him. But, stories like this, they never move in straight lines. That's when Jessica, the 22-year-old cashier, called me in a whisper. "I have a video," she said. We met up far from the bakery, and she showed me everything she'd recorded, every word, every laugh, every insult, all of it clear as day. I asked her why she was risking her job for me. She said her little sister was black, that she'd seen too much to stay quiet any longer. That was the evidence we needed, the recording, the witnesses, everything falling into place. David and Marcus were over the moon. Now we could go to Sterling, force his hand, and Mitchell's reign for good. The day Sterling walked into the bakery, you could almost smell the panic. Mitchell tried to play it cool, offering coffee, but Sterling cut him off cold. Played the video, laid out the documentation, the witness statements, the pattern of abuse. Sterling fired him on the spot, effective immediately. David served notice of a lawsuit, racial discrimination, emotional distress, defamation, $300,000. Marcus promised to send the evidence to every business in the city. Mitchell pleaded, begged, tried to blame me, but Sterling stopped him. "Every word you say confirms who you are." As he left, arms full of his belongings, he found a crowd of protesters outside, signs, chants, cell phones out, social media lighting up. Jessica's TikTok video was viral in hours. "Justice for Kesha," racial discrimination, hundreds of thousands of views, the comments tearing him apart. By nightfall, Mitchell's name was poison in the industry. Things moved fast after that. Sterling donated $50,000 to anti-discrimination orgs in Mitchell's name, no less. He offered me a role in an anti-racism training program. Marcus hooked me up with a supervisor job at his factory, of 40% raise, steady work, respect. My daughters got scholarships to a private school, coming home every day bursting with excitement about art class, library time, snacks that didn't taste like old cardboard. Jessica landed a new job. David called Mitchell's lawsuit settled for $250,000 plus legal fees, and he was blacklisted from customer service work nationwide. His wife left, the debts piled up, and he ended up working warehouse nights, anonymous and alone. Meanwhile, Sunrise Bakery turned a corner managed by a diverse team, packed every day, a sign by the door reading "Birthplace of the Dignity for All Movement." Sometimes I'd see Mitchell out front, just staring, and all I could feel was this weird mix of satisfaction and compassion, not pity. Not really, but the hope that maybe, finally, he understood it was never about destroying him, but about making sure no one else got crushed the way he tried to crush me. I got messages from strangers' mothers, teenagers, folks in small towns and big cities saying my story gave them the courage to stand up, to document, to refuse humiliation. And every night, tucking Emma and Sophie into bed, I'd remember that day in the bakery and tell them. Some people think having power gives them the right to hurt others, but real power is standing up and refusing to accept it. Sterling became a champion for inclusion. Marcus kept using his influence to fight for the next person in line. Jessica found her voice and never looked back. So let me ask you, if you were in my shoes, would you have walked away quietly or fought back? Was the justice I got enough, or did it go too far? Is it right to ruin a man's life for a few cruel words? Or is that exactly what it takes to break the cycle? Drop your thoughts below, because the real question isn't about bread or jobs or even racism. It's about what we do, all of us, when we see someone treated like they don't belong.